We are live. There you go.
What is going on, buddy? How are you today?
I am all right. I am going on very little sleep. I've been up since 3 a.m. and I am drinking coffee to get through this.
I've been up since 5. I 4:45, I think. I'm going on Whitney's and Red Bull. So
there you go.
That's what we're going to do. I'm going to share the link on my Facebook.
Oh, we got echo.
No, that's on me. That's on me. That's on me.
How do you have headphones on and still echo?
Dude, because I do it through my phone. I don't go on. I'm not like loading all this Facebook stuff. So that's what I'm doing, and I've got to figure a way to share this. Share it to the news feed.
I'm going to try to share it to the group if I can get the link. I wish that this service might actually give me the link. If I really tried, I might be able to do that.
If you tried, as long as not everybody else joins us, I think is what we're looking for, right?
I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind having more people on the show.
Oh, we eventually will. We were going to have more people on the show, and we'll touch base on that. What am I looking for here?
All right. And our wonderful Facebook group now has the link. I love that group, by the way. I love how, like, I can, if I find a story that I find interesting, I can put it in there and people will comment their opinions on it, and how people will find a story and put it in there and like, hey, you guys got to talk about this. And
absolutely. And I think it's great because the great thing about us is that we both have different views. Sometimes they match and sometimes they don't. It's one of those things where we don't know. Like, for people that don't know, a little behind the scenes, if you don't know, we talk for about 15 minutes, and it's more like, how's your day going? Here's what we're going to cover for today's show. We don't get too deep into topics, just so that we know, because we don't want to waste our time on. We want to get the real effect on people on what we have doing. Yeah, so today, Adam is drinking. Today, he is drinking coffee. I am drinking Pink Whitney and Red Bull. So what is
Pink Whitney?
Pink Whitney is a drink from a hockey player from Barstool Sports.
Okay.
He started it off with New Amsterdam, and literally it's been a massive hit in the States, and it is actually a fantastic drink. It's a great summertime drink. It was hard to get. I don't know how it is up north. Down here, down south, it is very hard to get. But we've been getting more of it lately, so it's good. It's about $30 a 26er, or a fifth if you're American, in Canada, and it is 30%, and it's like a vodka lemonade. That's all it is.
Vodka lemonade.
That's basic. That's all it is, and it's just a pink lemonade, and we will drink it.
Toughest man I know is drinking vodka and pink lemonade.
Toughest guy, that damn right, toughest guy, you know. Okay, man. Let's talk about last week's show, shall we?
I wanted to say why I don't know this stuff. There's two reasons. One, it's sports, and two, it's alcohol. Hey, there's these memes that keep going around. The drink that you always smell, and it reminds me of that time you died. I haven't drank in a while, but I didn't realize that the drink that almost killed me was every fucking hand sanitizer ever.
Oh, dude, yeah. Does that drive you? Does that drive you crazy? Like, some of the ones now, because we're in like COVID, and it seems like everybody's making their own type of bathtub hand sanitizer. Like, you got ones that smell like tequila, like cheap tequila.
Yeah.
And you're like, then you get like the Purell is like the Cadillac of hand sanitizer. You put that on, you're like, oh, that's a nice smell. But then you get like some of the girls who have like the little tubes from like Bed Bath & Beyond that have little sprinkles in them. And they're like, oh, this smells like the wild honey of the Alaskan forest. And I'm like, bitch, please. You see a bug, you cry. You don't know what an Alaskan forest smells like.
Yeah, really.
It just fucking drives me fucking crazy, man. When women go, oh, yeah, it smells like honey. Have some. And I'm like, oh, reminds me of that.
They all smell like tequila and like that one drink, exactly like I said, that one drink that you had that you threw up so much that you never, somehow they concentrated that smell into the hand sanitizer. But I will say, what's that? Sorry?
Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
I was going to say that there was one time where I went to a Tim Hortons, and I don't know if they all have the same, but I think this one had their own specific type. And, I pay whatever. I pay with debit, so I want to make sure to sanitize my hands. And since I've already paid, that's the last thing I do. And I as I'm walking away, I'm like, ooh, this is really good.
Oh no, it's good.
The next person goes up, and I'm kind of like sniffing the hand sanitizer, and yeah.
Sir, do you have a cocaine problem?
I don't know if it,
cocaine.
Well, I'm sort of realizing, like, as I'm trying to, like, fuck, I need to go out and buy that, and then I get the sense that maybe they think I'm checking out their PIN or something. So, anyway, what were you saying?
So I literally just got distracted. Just give me a sec. Sorry, man. Somebody messaged me. I got distracted.
Somebody messaged you.
Yeah, no, it was a Snapchat. I got distracted. It's funny. I got distracted. I don't get distracted that often. Yeah, man. But like, here's another thing about hand sanitizers. Men with girlfriends or wives, if you work with a female, be careful on what their hand sanitizer is.
Okay.
The reason why is because sometimes they have glitter in them. So when you put it on your hands and then you go like this, the glitter doesn't disappear.
No.
So if you're like me, and every time somebody says something dumb, if I don't have like a quick comment, I kind of like wipe my face. So you'll have sprinkles all over your head, and you're like, oh no. Or like if you scratch your chest, all of a sudden you've got like sparkles over on your nipples, and your wife's like, where were you? And I'm like, no, seriously, I was at work. She goes, yeah, what were you working on?
So people have all these conspiracy theories about masks or whatever, this, that, and the other thing. This is a conspiracy theory to slowly turn us all into strippers.
I'm not going to lie. If everybody just walked around nude, I don't think there'd be an angry person in the world. Like, I'm
going to disagree with that. There's some people I definitely don't need to see nude.
Yeah, but for every, you know what? It's going to be the ones you don't want to see.
Yeah.
When you're walking down the beach, like you're walking on the beach and you see like a guy in a thong, it's some old European guy who's got an ass hairier than our faces combined, and he's strumming a guitar and he's singing a tune, and you're like, dude, put some clothes on.
I'm sure you.
It's November in Northern Ontario. You're wearing a thong at the beach. You're just asking for people to watch.
Well, I was gonna say it's the old guy at the gym that's just standing there talking to everybody.
Or you're sitting on the bench and the old men are naked and they're talking and they're getting close, and you got junk on the left and junk on the right, and you're like, what the hell's going on here? And you're like, look at these two old microphones.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Honestly, you're like, guys, and then I stand up and I'm 6 feet, 260 pounds, and I'm angry. And they're like, oh, he's mad. I'm like, you had naked balls in my face.
I'm not mad, but it's just like, this is not, I don't know how to react.
Dude, two old men standing with their balls in your face. If you were not mad, go back to the glory hole from last week.
I gotta look above everything.
You gotta look up and
I can't see what I'm gonna trip over.
Open up wide. That's what you gotta do, right? I understand things are tough for you, man.
What?
We're out of it. We're out of this
personal attacks. What? Again, with the personal
literally,
attack.
you're looking up like he's a priest, and you're
I'm looking up because I'm standing and I don't want to look down.
You're standing, so you're looking up like I don't want to make.
I don't want to look down.
I don't want to look down. Okay, no, I get it. But like, I just thought like you were still sitting on the bench.
No, you're standing. You're looking.
That's fucking awkward as fuck, man.
Like I said, you're looking up, so you don't know. You don't know if you're going to trip over something on the ground. Whatever.
Trip over something on the ground. Like, okay, yeah. But nothing goes over your head, right? Exactly.
So we have a comment. Michael Levesque says, beards protect from COVID. I believe the opposite is true. Don't they sort of absorb the COVID, the germs? Don't they saturate themselves with germs?
Listen, when you have a beard like we do, your beard's getting long. I'm starting to like it. Like if you were to trim it on the sides and grow it out long, it'd be pretty badass. Also, just want to say, these are now called success potions.
Success potions. So
basically, when you're having a drink, it's a success potion because you just think you're better than everybody else.
That's not nice to say. I don't think I'm better than anyone.
Well, I know I'm better than you, so I mean that's good enough for me, right?
People aren't better than each other. Everybody's. I don't know.
Dude, I'm gonna tell you something, and I'll just give you like a manager's perspective of it. Is like I always tell my guys that we're all on the same level. We just have different jobs.
Sure.
Like that, I think, and that's the way you treat life. I think you're going to get a lot farther in life than you would if you thought like I'm better than that guy or I'm better than that guy. If you just said everybody's on the same level, we just have different jobs, I think you'll be a lot better in life.
So the opposite of the what you just expressed as your.
Well, except you though. You're really not a human. Like I'm still kind of on the fence about you.
I don't get it, man. Like I'm always so nice to you. I'm such a nice guy to you, and you're.
Adam, this is not the time to talk about our niceness for each other. I love you, buddy. If you need a kidney, don't ask me because mine are hockey pucks. I'm telling you that right now.
All right.
Let's talk about last week's show.
Sure.
Okay, so last week's show, I didn't think it was that good. Because I always expect so much better from myself. Like I was really like honestly like I think it was about this time in, and you're like stop with the personal attacks, and I'm like man up kind of deal. I was like I was kind of a little hard on you.
I know.
You know.
I didn't know what the fuck I did to you. You're like, hey,
nothing at all.
Every
Nothing at all.
second word out of you is like, hey, fuck you, Adam.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Knock, knock. Who's there? Fuck you. That's exactly what happens, right?
Ah.
So, like, I want to apologize to nobody because I don't think I offended anybody. Like, am I going to apologize to you? Not on the air. I may send you a little love text, after the fact. But like, yeah, no, that's not how. We're not going to apologize. What I really did enjoy was our conversation on glory holes, which. Like out of the 30 years we're a friendship, last thing I thought I'd ever say was I appreciated our conversation on glory holes. I think last week's show, if you watch the glory holes one, go watch the full thing because I think it was great the whole way through.
Yeah,
I honestly really did. We had a lot of fan likes and views, and our views on Facebook got a lot of views, and then we got a lot of views on YouTube, and we got some likes and dislikes, and I think there was more interaction with last week's show, and I really enjoyed last week's show. I really did. Looking back at it, I was like, hey, that was actually pretty fun.
So you've turned around. When we were done filming, you said, I didn't like that show, but after you were done, now you realize it was a pretty entertaining show.
It was, yeah. I started looking at it, and I go, yeah, it was fantastic. My internet went down, so my internet went down, so I watched what you said.
Yeah,
you held the show fantastically.
And you assumed it was a personal attack on you when you came back. You're like,
absolutely.
I heard everything you said.
I heard everything you said because the minute I went down, I went to YouTube and I watched it on my phone. So I was like, oh, personal attack.
I didn't say anything bad about you.
I know, dude. I didn't. I just assumed that I was gone. Like, if you cut out right now and I was by myself, I'd be like, well, so Adam, his Kmart Blue Light Special Internet didn't work today. That's what I would kind of go into. But yeah, last week's show was great, guys. If you want to go back and watch it, it was some good content. I really had fun with the Maya Khalifa stuff, all that.
Yeah, and we mispronounced her name the entire time.
What the fuck's her name?
We called her Maya Khalif, and never pronounced the A. Khalifa.
Was it Khalifa? But isn't that the rapper? Isn't that the rapper?
You just pronounced it correctly this time, but the entire time we did the last show, we said Maya Khalif, which I don't care.
I don't care. Yeah, that's the problem. I don't care. I don't care about some washed out porn star who's now embarrassed that she can't have her own personal life because she made 3 months of films that has over 100 hours and 100 million views on YouPorn or Pornhub or whatever the hell it's called. Like that's what I mean. Like I don't care. If she watches the video and she gets offended I didn't say her last name, DM me because I will send you back some great takes that I don't think you can handle. And I've seen you can handle a lot. Oh, don't give me the little left-handed look like the.
Well, I don't know. I have some more stuff to say, but you know what? I'm not going to.
Well, you don't know. You go ahead. You speak your mind today, Mr. Left. You go ahead because you and I are going to get some heated debates today, I think.
Well, I think she can have her own personal life, and that's fine. Like, whatever. There's nothing. She's entitled to have her own personal life after doing porn.
Absolutely. But now, is this like a reverse? Is this reverse psychology? So if she went to like, what if she went back door? Let's go back to this. If she went
back door.
Pun not intended. It's
a good pun, though. You gotta take credit for that. You should have said it was intended.
It was not a good pun. No.
So you're saying that your career advice is for her to go back to porn and this time do backdoor stuff. She'll make more money that way.
Well, she will, but I mean that's neither here nor there.
Her return. I just meant that her return, but whatever.
No. So what if she went to Pornhub and was like, "Hey, every video I want instead of having that 0.2 cents or whatever it is, I want 0.5 of a cent." So then they go, okay, we'll rejig that for you, and they rejig it, and then she goes, okay, perfect. Then she goes online and she goes on this massive epic rant of don't watch my videos, and then everybody goes, well, I don't know who she is. So they go and watch one video. But then 20 million people go watch one video. And then she makes all that money from Pornhub. Do you think that's a possibility? Like, I think that's a possibility. That's smart marketing.
I don't know about necessarily the renegotiating of her contract, but I agree.
No. She didn't renegotiate her contract. She renegotiated with Pornhub. Okay. So she went to Pornhub and was like, hey, if you don't want to scrub them, then you have to give me whatever you got to give me, instead of the 0.1 or the 0.05 or whatever it is, I want 1 cent per view.
Well, here's the thing. I smell what you're cooking here. I get the idea that you're going for. Whether she had a 1% residual or a 0.5%, whatever, even if she kept the residual the same, even just being outspoken about don't watch my porn, she would still get the same effect. She'd make more money being outspoken like that.
That's what I mean, though, right?
I don't think that's what she's actually doing.
Well, you know what, though? That's a smart thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because remember how I said I was going to stop following her on Snapchat? No, I continue to follow her on Snapchat, and I really appreciate what she's doing on Snapchat now. Here's what she did today. She went out and ran some errands. She left the house. She has a dog that was in her purse. I was literally just watching it. That's why I know. But like, nothing about like, don't watch my videos. She was like, thank you to my fans. I love you guys. So I don't know, man. Like, she's giving me mixed results. It's like your prom date. You just don't know, what am I doing? Am I too close? Am I too far? Should I go in for it? I like you, but I don't know what's going on? Like, I think that's the issue.
It's almost like she has her own life outside of porn.
Absolutely. I'm not following her on Snapchat. I started following her when she was like, erase me off Pornhub. That's when I started following her. Yeah. So like, she hasn't really like gone into that a lot. She's just kind of like showing her day and being a human and stuff. And I'm like, all right, like, I'll give it to you. But like the minute,
I think that's her sort of intention, is to move away. Like, just, I don't need to always be saying I want to have a life outside of porn. I want to have a life that has nothing to do with it.
Dude, we are grown-ass men. We've grown up with internet porn. Our whole life is porn.
Our whole life is porn?
Dude, this cool cell phone wasn't this double screen cell phone.
Yeah.
This double screen cell phone. Yeah. Wasn't made for gaming or business. It was 2 porn sites at once. Like, don't give me that. Like,
2 porn sites at once. Wow.
LG could say that this is a very powerful phone. And I'll vouch for the phone. It's a very powerful phone, but it's 2 screens of porn. It's nothing else, man. Don't overthink things. Like, I legit think that.
2 screens of porn. All right, I guess.
2 screens of porn, baby. It's like 2 scoops of fruit, right? You know what I mean? Or 2 scoops of raisins. Like, I don't know how that. I don't remember that commercial, but I mean, that's neither here nor there.
All right. So you also want to talk more about glory holes? You said.
Well, I think we're kind of like. Your views on glory holes are skewed.
How are they skewed?
You need to understand that it's just not a one-way street. Women enjoy glory holes better than just as much as men do. Like, the great thing about glory holes is, like, guys like Chewy SJSH from last week. He'll pay his $10. He'll go put his 2 inches in the hole. And some girl's she won't see what he looks like. She's all good. She's like, all right, I got paid. Like, but they also turn it around and they enjoy themselves on it. How the hell I'm breaking this down to you, man, and you look confused? Mind boggles me.
So what you're saying is that that there's more than just blowjobs going on at the glory hole.
Watch one video. Watch one. Watch a full video. Like it's like when you watch a good porn movie and the plumber walks in. Yeah, I'm gonna ruin the end for you. The tap doesn't get fixed. His tap gets fixed, but the tap doesn't get fixed, and he just walks away. Okay. But you have to watch the whole video.
You know what? I didn't really. I don't think. How do I say this?
You didn't watch the full video.
I didn't watch the full video. That's fair.
The great thing is that we're doing research for the internet. Like, we're trying to tell people that don't know what it is. So we need to be. We can't be fake news over here.
I believe that the glory hole was created with blowjobs as the intention. However, I can understand that they have expanded the service into other things that I didn't take into consideration. Now that you mention it.
Now that I mention it, I didn't mention it. It's made in videos, man. I honestly think
you mentioned it to me just now,
dude. I figured you would have did research on glory holes.
Well, I know what a glory hole is.
Apparently,
your point is that they sometimes have sex at the glory holes.
Sometimes.
I guess.
Sometimes.
All right. I think most people think it's more of a blowjob thing.
Who's they? How many people?
Like I just said, I think most people consider it.
Most people. You're talking you people? Better watch out. We might get canceled if you say you people.
You're twisting my words in a very deliberate way.
I'm not twisting your words. I am saying what you're saying. That is what I'm saying.
All right.
That doesn't make sense to me. I know you know what I'm saying. You know what I mean? I know you know that I know that you know.
All right. We're falling off the rails here, Jean-Marc.
Dude, we've been off the rails since we started.
We haven't even hit a single subject yet.
No, that's okay because we've already killed 21 minutes. So I mean that works out too.
I'd like to.
What do you want to hit? Let's jump into that. Let's jump in. I got a yellow pad.
Well, how about Joe Rogan? Joe Rogan.
You want to go right into Rogan?
Well, right. I mean, Joe Rogan is.
You set up Joe Rogan. You give your opinion, and then I will give mine.
I have a lot of differing opinions. I think what he said.
Okay, well, don't talk yourself into a circle again, and then when I try and straighten you out, say that I'm twisting your words. Find a subject
really
you want.
Twisting my words. I said most people, and you twisted it into.
What do you mean most people? Like, what do you mean most people, man?
I think that the general consensus is whatever. We're not talking about glory holes.
Continue on with your view, young man.
Even there's people in the chat that are saying research on glory holes? ?
Don't worry about the public thing. You and I are having a conversation. This is what I want to hear. Give your opinion on Joe Rogan.
Acknowledge the people who are participating in the chat.
As I will too, but you go ahead and you give your views on Joe Rogan, and I'll give mine.
My views on Joe Rogan. Well, I mean, he said. I'm trying to remember the exact quote. I wish I had written it down before, but it was basically that he thinks playing video games is a waste of time. And then he gives the example of jujitsu. If you were to spend as much time obsessing over jujitsu as you can obsess over video games, you would accomplish something. You'd get your black belt in jujitsu. You'd be able to teach jujitsu, and you would move further in life. And his view is that video games are essentially a black hole that you can put effort into that you will never get a payoff from.
Okay, that's great.
Okay.
Sorry, just doing a little bit more research on Joe Rogan here.
Sure.
So what's your opinion on that? So that's what he said, but what's your opinion on it?
My opinion is that if somebody wants to waste their life, it's their life to spend how they choose.
Okay, absolutely.
Who are we to put a value judgment on how someone spends their life?
Perfect. That's fantastic. If somebody were to put Joe Rogan last night, I think it was last night with my boy Canada Post Malone did a 3-hour marathon on magic mushrooms. So they ate mushrooms while they were on the podcast, got really high, and then talked about UFOs and all that other shit.
Okay.
If you spent, instead of watching the Joe Rogan podcast, if you spent as much time studying nuclear fission, like for 3 hours a day or 2 hours a day instead of watching the Joe Rogan podcast, you'd be better off. Sure. But now video games from when we were kids, and I'm going to talk based on this, video games when you and I were kids, they were basically all one player until like the 64, or you know what, the Super Nintendo, we played a lot of Super Nintendo together.
Well, the original Nintendo had
multiplayers, like they had like Blades of Steel and stuff. That was to get us together, right? Like that was to get us.
Even Mario was Mario and Luigi. Player 1 and player 2.
Don't get me going on Mario. We won't talk about him.
You don't like Mario? What do you have against Mario?
He's part of my cancel culture right now.
How is Mario
Listen, we're talking about Joe Rogan right now. You shut your mouth and we'll talk about Joe Rogan. Okay. You want to talk about my views on Mario, the Italian plumber, the poor guy? We'll talk about it. But anyways,
I'm gonna write that down.
So what? Well, you want to write it down? Write this down. Okay, good for you. Do you need to know how to spell Mario? Are you sure?
Get to the Joe Rogan.
Here's what I'm saying: is that when kids are playing video games, I believe at a certain age. Now, I believe that there are social cues that kids need to hit. So if you just gave the kid an iPad and just said, here, just play games on my iPad, the kid is going to miss social cues that he needs to have in life. He really does. So if you're talking to kids about, if you start talking to kids, some kids have a lisp, some kids have this, I believe they're missing a lot of points in their lives on where they could be using their speech patterns. So they're having a lot of lisp. You'll see this come up. Don't worry. I'm not off in left field on this. Okay. When you get to a certain age, when you get to 10 and 11 and your brain is developing, and then you get to guys like my age, like I have a Call of Duty group. I have an Xbox group. Now, basically what it is you put a headset on. I've been wearing it for the first couple of shows. First show with my earphones and my mic. But we use it to almost, I'm going to say, battle depression. So if you're stuck, like I live in a two bedroom apartment. I bought a house that is almost like a lot bigger than my 2-bedroom apartment. My 2-bedroom apartment, I think, is 750 square feet or something like that. Okay. My wife and I, during COVID, I couldn't go you can't go anywhere. I'm going to go to the couch. I'm going to sit at the kitchen table. We have 2 rooms. I'll hide in one, you hide in the other. But to talk to your buddies, so you and I can jump on Xbox and I can talk to you. I'm not sure.
He's expressing the same thing that I'm saying. Okay, I'm not sure lisps are caused by missing social cues is what.
Well, they're missing speech patterns and they're missing certain things in their lives. And I think that is because of an iPad. But if you're playing video games and I'm talking to you, it also helps battle depression, is what I'm saying. Joe Rogan's also the same guy that says you can battle through, instead of watching an hour of Netflix, you can battle through an hour workout, which I agree on. But you can use that. You can do that with anything. Mm-hmm. If you travel an hour for work, well, you can get a job closer, take a pay cut, and then spend an extra hour with your family. Like everything has its ups and downs. All I'm saying is that his views on video games are a little bit different than I think anybody else's. To me, when you hit a certain age, if you have a solid group of friends and you want to talk to those guys, and that's kind of your escape, it's an inexpensive way to kind of defeat depression. As in where people will do other things that I think are bad.
So you're saying that a young person should not play video games because it could cause...
No. So when I'm talking about video games, I'm talking about like not the video games like we play like Call of Duty or something online, like Mario Kart or whatever have you. But like the iPad video games, or they just it's a babysitting tool. I think those kids are missing out on a lot, and I think those kids need not to touch an iPad. Or touch any type of electronics until they hit a certain age.
So, and the counter argument to your argument is your own argument is that a lot of video games are social. They have a social element to them now.
But I'm not. You're not watching a 4-year-old kid with a headset on talk to somebody else because literally that is a bad thing. Mm-hmm. Parents, if you're thinking of getting your kid under the age of 12 a video game system, do not give them a headset. Whatever you do. If you want to let them play the games that even I don't think they should be playing, I'm not going to judge your parenting skills. Do not give them a headset. Do not give them a microphone. They do not need to hear the stuff that is on the internet through those chats, and I know that for a fact. But fair. What I'm saying is that when you hit a certain age, and if you have a kid and I have a kid and Mike has a kid and Luke has one, and they all want to talk in a controlled setting where they have a headset on and they're playing the same game, like Mario Kart or a game that is family friendly, and they want to have a headset on so they can talk to each other. I'm okay with that in a small group setting when they're at a certain age, like when they're between 10. What I don't want is I don't want my kid sitting on his ass for 10 hours a day eating potato chips and playing video games.
I get you. So what you're saying is perhaps it's more of a parenting issue where you should limit who your child interacts with online.
And limiting screen time is key. I think limiting screen time is key.
But, and I'm going to argue this, at this point, several generations who were raised playing video games practically from birth, including our generation,
our generation
and every generation after.
So I'll even go one generation before us.
Sure. So I don't know if they were playing video games from birth, but there were video games around the 70s.
So we're going, what, Atari? You want to go back that far? You want to talk about Atari? Okay, so Atari was a horrible system. You get an Atari now, you're like, wow, this Mickey Mouse. The delay on it is bad. But what they had arcades. But you weren't, like, if you were allowing your 5 or 6 year old to go to an arcade, you were giving them a handful of quarters and you play this game. Okay, and they would just put quarters in. And then their $5 would run out in 30 seconds because they kept dying on the same hole.
I just want to interject that I do miss arcades. They were very cool.
Dude, I have one. I literally have one in front of me.
I know you have. You've always had an arcade.
I have one in front of me.
But yes. I mean, no.
I bought one 2 years ago.
Oh, okay.
So I had one at my house.
Yeah.
When I was in North Bay, and then I bought another one.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I have, dude,
But what I mean is, I don't mean I miss a physical arcade machine. I miss the social aspect of going to an arcade. I remember watching.
Remember you and I going to arcades before we were kids, man?
Yes.
That's what I miss. But I also miss the times of you and I hanging out on Lansdowne at our buddy's house, the Italians, and playing like No Mercy and Bond and that. And like that's what I miss.
Social aspect.
That is a social aspect. Is correct.
Like you grow, you learn more about a person. What is it? You learn more about a person in like 1 hour of playing than 1 hour than you've ever learned in your life. There's some quote about that. I don't know the exact quote.
Now, as an adult and being part of like the Xbox 360, then Xbox, like I've got buddies that I've never met. I've never met them who I know more about them than I do about. Not about you, but about most guys that I hang out with. Like, because we've spent like 14 years together or 12 years together. And like one of them we met, his son is now, I think his wife was pregnant. I think his son is like 12 or 13. Like if those guys called me tomorrow or messaged me in the group and were like, hey man, like times are tough in Chicago. Can I borrow 500 American dollars? That's like 700 Canadian. I'll give them the money. Like I would send them the money and I know they would pay me back. Like I didn't invite certain my family's watching this. They're going to shoot me. I didn't invite certain family to my wedding, but I invited my buddy from Chicago because I talked to him for 4 hours a day.
Wow.
And he couldn't get on a plane because he blew his back out the day of my wedding.
Jeez, wow.
Like I cut a family member to send him an invite to my wedding. There goes my mic. But yeah, so that's what it is. Like that's what I'm talking about. Like when he says video games are bad, they're not bad.
I just want to interject that there are probably people watching this or who will watch this at some point that I have a similar relationship with. I have a lot of online friends that I've met, especially through YouTube, that I am at times I've considered some of my best friends.
No, and absolutely. Like, and I remember you going to California to watch these YouTube, to go to like these conferences, and people like our friends going, he's dumb. And I'm like, no, that's what he does. That's what he wants to do. Like, you enjoy something, do it. As long as it's not detrimental to your health or to anything else. I just
Who said I was dumb for going to VidCon? Fuck those people.
You don't even want to know.
Hey man, I will say that was probably one of the most enriching moments of my life, is finally meeting up with all of these people who I had only interacted with online.
Yeah, no, but to me, it's like when Joe Rogan says that, and then Joe Rogan was a proponent of LAN parties with Quake, and then turning down the pixels on Quake so you could see the other guys. But if the other guys didn't look at your screen, they didn't know that your pixels were down, so you could see better. So you could have like it was basically what Quake was when it was the LAN party, was like GoldenEye, but with like 20 guys. And you would just turn the pixels down and you'd be able to see them in the background, so you wouldn't have any type of delay.
Okay.
That's what Joe Rogan used to play.
Yeah, well, Joe Rogan, that's the other thing about this, that Joe Rogan is saying that it's like a black hole that sucks up your time. I think that he's speaking from experience, because Joe Rogan has alluded to and maybe even outright said that he has a bit of a video game addiction. that if he starts playing video games, it will suck him in. He will just do it for days on end.
Absolutely. And the reason why is because he has an addictive personality. He really does. Like he's talked about it with like on his podcast with Joey Diaz and stuff like that. Like he's never touched cocaine.
Yeah.
Because no, but I think he's afraid he's going to like it. So if he knows I might like that, and I've seen what liking that and loving it does to other people, like he's just like I'm gonna walk away from it. That's what I'm gonna do. Is I'm gonna walk away from it. So that's kind of the issue with Joe Rogan is that he's kind of like a backhanded compliment. Like one day he says, I loved Quake and I love doing this. And then he goes, but your kids shouldn't be playing video games because they're going to miss out on stuff.
I don't know if he says your kids shouldn't. What he really said is that it's a time suck, that you'll get stuck doing it forever and you won't accomplish anything. And I think that a little bit of that is not him talking about other people. He's talking about himself.
No, and that's completely honest. But like when I go into and I think we all have this, when you go on YouTube, and you're in the washroom, the lavatory, if you would, and you go on YouTube, like I love a 5-minute video because I could watch it while I'm on the shitter, and then Joe Rogan's the worst for that. He clips it, I watch it, and then I go, shit, I wonder what else he said, and then I come out and I go, okay, I'll go on YouTube, and then I put it on my TV, and I go, all right, then before I know it, I've drinking 17 success potions and a bag of chips, and I'm into a 2-hour Joe Rogan podcast with Ben Shapiro or whatever his name is.
Yeah. An interesting one that I'd like to mention is Elon Musk made an interesting point that relates to this. Is he talked about wanting to design his own house, and he said, I couldn't do it because I wanted to figure out how to go to Mars or how to get humanity to Mars. And he said, which one's more important? Going to Mars or designing my house? I think we all know the answer. And to me, the answer would be no. Designing your house would be the one.
No, that's a selfish way of looking at life.
Well, no, but I'm saying that he's going to enhance his own life more by designing his house.
I'm not getting into the DMT issue, but like Elon Musk thinking about humanity, like we fucked this earth up real good.
Yeah,
I'm not talking about Greta Thunberg coming around and telling me that I'm bad for not recycling. How dare you? But what I'm saying is that we've really destroyed this planet. We're still destroying this planet. During COVID, when they locked down Italy and they locked down all these things and all this pollution started going away, do you think we learned that lesson yet? We haven't learned it yet. Because half the population hasn't been wiped out yet. Until half the population's wiped out, almost like what Thanos said, every time something happens, I just agree with Thanos more and more and more.
Microblaster, who I think is someone that I know, and I'm not going to expose their identity unless they want me to, says, well, as someone that used to play 8 to 12 hours of video games a day, I think that they are cool and fun, but shouldn't be played to the excess that I did.
No, I agree with him. Now, another thing I wanted to touch base on was Ninja coming out and saying it's horrible what he said and he doesn't know what he's saying. The reason why you have to have a different look at how that goes out. So when you have a look at it, you go, how does Ninja make money? By kids following him on Twitch or I don't even know what he's on now. YouTube. I think he might be on YouTube. I think he might be on YouTube because Mixer got shut down or whatever the hell got shut down. Kids watching him play Fortnite or whatever he's into, the kids will just follow him to want to be like him.
I think that's why TikTok got shut down, eh?
No. Mixer. I want to say it's Mixer from Xbox. He signed with Mixer, so he was on Twitch. Microsoft signed him. Microsoft then shut down that forum, and I believe he's on YouTube now streaming. And YouTube paid him, or YouTube bought it, but his subs and how he gets views are kids that want to watch him play. They want to go, what is he doing? And so he doesn't want, if Rogan says to a parent, so if Rogan gets 10 million views for every podcast, which is amazing, he says video games are bad, it takes a parent like me, a guy who watches his show, and a guy like you, not debate it, but they just go, yeah, okay. So then when they see the kid watching, you can't play video games, but now he's watching it on his phone, you're like, whoa, we're done here. Like, you cannot watch Ninja play. So then Ninja will lose his subs, and then Ninja loses money is the issue. So he doesn't have that draw power anymore.
So I think what you're getting at, and it's something that Pixel Protocol was sort of alluding to, and basically the idea is that Joe Rogan is wrong because the parallel to spending the time in jiu-jitsu, mastering jiu-jitsu, and eventually making money off of jiu-jitsu, the parallel for video games is professional gaming. You spend time obsessing over video games, and eventually you start making money off of it.
So
the people who make money off of video games probably make a lot more than the people who obsess over judo or jiu-jitsu.
How much money did Conor McGregor make against Mayweather? $100 million, right?
Something. I think they split $100 million or something crazy.
McGregor got $100 million.
Did he get $100 million? Okay.
Mayweather got $5 million, I think.
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah.
Here's the thing.
I don't have the numbers, but I'll take your word.
I don't like the little fucking purple or green haired bastard Ninja. I don't like Ninja at all. I think he's a little crybaby and I don't like him. He gets Mixer signed him for $30 million to play video games.
Yeah, there you go.
$30 million and you get punched in the head. So would you rather have your kid sitting at home trying to be like Ninja, or would you rather have your kid like Conor McGregor getting punched out, throwing dollies at a van, running his mouth where it doesn't belong? Like, I would prefer to have my kid not Ninja, but like a ninja type way. Hey, I know where the hell he is because he's trying to make video games and trying to make money off of video games, right? But I'd rather have him doing that than getting punched in the head and dropping a C-bomb on somebody and doing this and doing that. And it's brutal. I would rather watch my kid try and be more like Ninja than McGregor.
I don't know. I think I'd like my kid to be like Conor McGregor.
What, a little short leprechaun that runs his mouth and gets knocked out the last 3 times out of 4? Give me a break.
Well, yeah, there is that. But not specifically Conor McGregor, but you're saying you would rather have a professional gamer than a professional fighter?
Yes, absolutely.
What?
In a heartbeat. Dude, I've had so many goddamn concussions, I barely remember high school. You think I want my kid running through all that stuff?
Wow,
no. Do I have great stories that I'll never share on the internet? Absolutely. You know, you've been around for most of them. I don't want my kid taking as many hits to the head as I have. And half the fights I didn't even get into, I was a bouncer and took a lot of shots to the dome. Played football.
You just made it real, so I can't argue with that. You're right, I guess, when you say
that's the damn right. I'm right. You remember that. I am on the right, so that means I am right.
That's not how that works, but you make a fair point.
Speaking of McGregor, as we're going to roll
I was going to say.
McGregor. Let's get back into McGregor. A random tweet. I accept. He accepts what?
He accepts a challenge to be on our show. Right?
Wow.
That's what I'm going to assume it means.
Wow, I assumed he accepted your glory hole invitation. That's what I thought it meant.
Again with the personal attacks. What the hell, man?
But it doesn't matter because you don't know who's on the other side of the glory hole. If it trims up that beard, it could be a woman. You never know, buddy. You never know. No, I accept. What is that? Because he had like 5 things going before he retired. That was air quotes.
Well, he's retired a couple times.
He retires every time. So when he comes out, he goes, "Oh, it's my last fight." Yeah. Then he gets his head knocked out, and he goes, "I retired again."
Yeah.
And then, like, did the Diaz brothers chirp him that I didn't miss?
Honestly, man, I have no fucking idea.
Did he accept a Pacquiao? So did he accept a Pacquiao fight? And they're going to fight on the Tyson card?
That'd be interesting.
Like, are they going to make it a super show?
Did Pacquiao challenge him?
So he challenged, I believe so. They said, Pacquiao said, I'd come out of retirement to fight you, to box you or whatever. So if we're going to get Tyson, are we going to get McGregor and Pacquiao?
That'd be a huge super card.
So could you imagine that? So I paid $100 for the fight, the McGregor fight when he fought Mayweather. I don't remember the guys beforehand because we were just kind of having a party. Who the hell would you put on? Who'd be the main event? Would Tyson be the main event, or would Pacquiao Mayweather be the main event?
That's a good question. In a situation, listen, fuck, that is an interesting. Wow.
And okay, so that not only that. How much would you pay for that?
You'd pay a fortune.
How much would you be comfortable? It'd have to be pay-per-view.
You'd have to put it on different cards. If I'm a promoter and I got that, I'm saying you guys are on different cards. I got 2 main events. I'm gonna spread them out.
No, I go. Screw this.
Tyson's
Tyson's already signed his deal.
Yeah.
I know Tyson. Is it Jake Paul fighting on that one as well, or Logan Paul against Nate Robinson on that fight? But what I'm saying, go ahead.
Well, weren't you saying that they've moved it to pay-per-view now?
Yeah. So I thought DAZN was going to cover it. Now they're taking the Tyson fight to pay-per-view, and they're saying it's going to be 49 pounds. So it's in the UK, obviously, for pounds. So I'm assuming it's going to be about 100 Canadian. I'm going to pay for it. I don't care. I'll pay for it. The reason why I want to see it, because I hope it doesn't happen, but I want to see like one of these old bastards get knocked out.
Yeah.
2, the spectacle alone of that. Like I am picturing 2 guys coming in as like Apollo Creed in Rocky 4, like living in America.
You think Mike Tyson's going to do a dance?
Yeah, Mike Tyson's going to do a dance. For the amount of money he's making, he better do an Irish jig around that baby and just say, I'm the man, baby. I broke my back. What do you mean? Spinal. Like, I want to hear a Mike Tyson go crazy.
I think Mike Tyson's got the eye of the tiger. He is not going to be doing a dance. He's going to be waiting.
He's coming up from the ring and just looking.
He's got that hate in his eyes, and he's just looking at his opponent like, I'm going to fucking tear you apart. I'm legally allowed to tear you apart again.
So you don't think it's going to be a spectacle of spectacles? You don't think it's going to be that?
I think it's like Mike Tyson said, and I repeated in the last show, is you've reawoken my ego. Something deep inside of him, something dark that has always existed that he's repressed is back, and he's going to try to tear the other guy apart.
Well, it's Roy Jones Jr., and Roy Jones Jr. looks horrible. So, I mean, like, it's going to be epic. I just think that, you know what? You give me a 45-minute entrance for both of them combined, because that match is going to last.
You're all about the entrance. You're buying it just for the entrance.
Dude, I am buying it for the
Goldberg Sparks, and he's going to go, dun, 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 dun.
That's what I want. Dude, I want Goldberg to walk him to the ring. That's what I want. I want that. I want The Rock calling it out. I want everything in there. That's what I want. I want everything in there. I want fireworks. I want a spectacle, man. I want 6 hours of just chirping and just watching old Tyson fights. Oh, man. That's all I'm stoked for. I don't care about anything else. That's what I want. I just want them to battle.
So if these guys are on the same card, who goes on last?
I'm saying McGregor. Now, hear me out on why I'm going to say McGregor.
Sure.
I'm going to say McGregor because he'll sell you more pay-per-views down the road.
Oh, that's interesting.
So the problem becomes is that you hope if it happens, McGregor knocks out Pacquiao. That's what you hope for. So that you can say Pacquiao's not the greatest fighter. Conor McGregor knocked him out. And then McGregor Mayweather go again, or McGregor and somebody else coming up the ranks, and they fight and they make more money. That's the only reason you put them on last.
I think that you put them on last because they're active. They're active competitors, and
dude, you don't think whoever wins the Jones Jr. and Tyson fight that they're not going to fight again?
I think this is going to be a nostalgia act, right? Like they're coming out of retirement, and
Dude, if I wanted nostalgic, I turn my arcade on. These guys are hungry. Mike Tyson is hungry, man.
Well, I mean that's what I'm saying too. But I think at the end of the day,
want to talk nostalgia?
We'll see. We'll see. Like I think he wants to tear his opponent apart, but we'll see.
Yeah, but it's just like if you want nostalgia, like. Be like Ford giving OJ a new Bronco. Like, that's nostalgia for you. Which I know is going to happen. He's getting a white Bronco. But that's neither here nor there. I'm kind of going off on my own little world today.
You kind of
Alyssa Milano's training today, and we kind of talked about it a little bit.
Yeah.
She was talking about Joe Rogan.
So who is Alyssa Milano again?
Charmed Girl.
Charmed. I don't know that show.
3 Witches, good-looking girls. I think it was Shannon Doherty.
You said she was on some 80s show?
Who's the Boss with Tony Danza. Another boxer, Tony Danza.
Okay. Tony Danza.
She has called out Joe Rogan as Joe Rogan has gotten more views on his 3-hour podcast with Canada Post Malone.
Why do you call it Canada Post Malone?
Because like cereal Post Malone, like it's Post Malone, but if you put something cool in front of it, like Canada Post, and then Malone, I love Post Malone. I think it's hilarious. I really do. I think he looks like he smells bad, and the kind of guy like I want to have a beer with. Like he looks like just like I bring him home and like my mom's like wash the couch. I just love that guy. But she's mad that more people viewed that podcast than she has viewers, than she has followers on her podcast.
Who has she had on her show? Does any I don't know. Maybe I don't like her fucking guests. Maybe I don't like her.
No. So this is, and like I was telling you before, like the reason why Joe Rogan is so loved, and I go back, I'm just going to circle back quickly on this. He plays both sides of the political fence. Like he had Ben Shapiro on this week, and then he had like a left guy last week. And I watch both so I can get a feel for it. And like he has guys that are just his people. You just want to hear people. Like I honestly think like if you want to educate yourself on health, YouTube the Mel Gibson one. Mel Gibson brought his doctor from. I thought that was amazing on stem cells.
A lot of stem cells, yeah. Well, a lot of people believe that Joe Rogan is part of the alt-right. I don't believe that though. I believe he's more libertarian.
Joe. This is the problem with Joe Rogan. We talked about this before. This is the straight, this is the left, and this is the right, or other way around, however way you're looking at it. Joe Rogan's in the middle with a little bit of gray.
Sure.
I lean more to the right, you lean more to the left.
I got to put this comment up. Timmy MC. Shout out to Timmy MC.
I am late.
Wonderful content if you're a fan of Tommy NC 2010. Check out Timmy MC if you're aware of who that YouTuber is. He parodies Tommy NC 2010.
Sure, but anyways, before you cut me off, you jackass, you and Tommy MC over there could take a hike. But anyways, like I was saying, he's right down the middle, but he kind of leans a little bit of both. He's got a foot in the left and a foot in the right, kind of like I do. Kind of like you do. You can believe I can trust some things that the right say, and I believe in some of the stuff they do, but I also like some of the stuff the left does. Sure. So I kind of like both sides. But people love that stuff. We're all in that fence. The only thing we hear about more though is we hear extreme left and extreme right. Why? Because the extreme left that we are forced to gargle through like CNN, I find is stupid, extremely left now. Fox News is extremely right.
I don't watch CNN lately these days, but
yeah, but like I'm saying, like, give us something. Yeah, thank you for that. I'm not even commenting on that. I appreciate that.
I agree with him.
Yeah. I agree with him too. But like, Joe Rogan gives it to you down the middle. Hey, you don't want to watch the 2.5 hour thing on with Ben Shapiro, or is it Shapiro? Shapiro. I even follow that guy a lot. But if you don't want to watch that, don't worry. Don't worry. The next day, he's got somebody on the same thing, but on the left. So the left guy is educated as well.
I'd like to tell you my point of view on Joe Rogan. I think that Joe Rogan is not always the most informed person, unless it's DMT, jiu-jitsu, or
even DMT. Dude, I've
MMA.
watched hours and hours and hours of Rogan.
Yeah.
He doesn't talk that much about DMT.
Well, I think he doesn't as much these days because it's become a meme. But when it comes
back in the day,
yeah. When it comes, there are three things that this man has in his wheelhouse. It's MMA, DMT, and well, I guess jiu-jitsu is part of MMA, but it's always more specifically focused on and stand-up comedy. No, he's always the smartest man in the room about stand-up comedy. There's bar none. He's the smartest man in the room about stand-up comedy, except maybe when he had Dave Chappelle on. MMA, he's usually the smartest man in the room.
Whoa. Did you just say except when he had Dave Chappelle on? Maybe except when he had Dave Chappelle on? Dave Chappelle is our lifetime. Him and Richard Pryor, he's our Richard Pryor. Dave Chappelle is our Richard Pryor.
Sure.
Dave Chappelle and Richard Pryor are way up here in the comedy. Dude, Rogan's not even close. He's not even in the right atmosphere with these fuckers. He's on Earth. These guys are circling. These guys are closer to the sun, and the sun is getting scared.
Well,
that's how good those guys
Joe
are.
Rogan can definitely speak to what's going on in the Comedy Store a little bit better than Dave Chappelle, or who the up-and-coming person is in California. Absolutely. So, like I said, maybe Joe Rogan is a little bit more of the smartest man in the room on some aspects with Dave Chappelle. There's
Yep. No, I agree with you. I agree with you 100% when it comes to that stuff. Like, because he's now back at the Comedy Store, and he's doing some more things at the Comedy Store from what I could gather on like the Comedy Store's Twitter and all that stuff. But
so you said something interesting that I actually was thinking about proposing as a topic this week. Dave Chappelle. You said he's our generation's whatever. Richard Pryor's a good one because Richard Pryor made a lot of racial jokes and whatever. But he's our generation's one of our generation's key celebrities. Now, I want to ask.
I'm gonna say this right now.
Sure.
Don't ever put Richard Pryor with racial jokes. He was knocking down fucking barriers. White people, black people, everybody liked him because he talked the way it was.
Sure.
When you went to if you go on YouTube or Netflix and you watch a Richard Pryor special, and I even think he makes fun of it. He goes, "Wow, there's white people in the front. You know you made it when drops the N-bomb and white people come and sit front row in your show." You're like, absolutely. But he was just comedy. He just loved everything he said.
Sure. Yeah. I equate him with it because I know that he wrote a lot of jokes for Blazing Saddles. A lot of the racial jokes were written by him. That's why I always think of him that way.
Okay. I guess so.
We have someone offended in the chat because they got a shout out. This is Joey with the numbers, and he's offended by the shout out from.
I don't really care, but go back to your comment. Go back to your comment.
All right. So the question I proposed to you, Dave Chappelle, is he a celebrity for our generation almost exclusively? And let me dive in a little bit for that, because I don't think the baby boomers really are too aware of Dave Chappelle, because when I was a kid and people were trying out weed, they fucking trying it out, getting a little taste of it for the first time. This movie Half Baked just fucking came out of nowhere. And it's like, holy shit, it's about guys trying weed for the first time, and then they grow up and what they turn into. And then when I got to be like early 20s, like college age, there's this new sketch comedy show on Comedy Central that my parents had never heard of. They don't watch Comedy Central. They don't know what South Park is. Suddenly, the funniest fucking TV show ever comes out of nowhere and explodes. And it kills. It kills and it kills, and it blows anything that you've ever seen on TV out of the water. And then when he's about to make it as the biggest mainstream comedian for generations to come, he disappears. And the next generation has no idea who the fuck he is.
The new generation is, like I said before, like this phone, any phone you have, iPhone, whatever, Android, is a Google machine, man. Mm-hmm. You can find up things from what happened in 1842 to 2010. Dave Chappelle secretly grew up with us.
Yeah,
he was also in Nutty Professor.
Sure, I didn't see it. So sure.
You ever seen Eddie Murphy in Nutty Professor?
Didn't strike my fancy.
You should go watch that. And just watch it for the Dave Chappelle clips. Are fucking hilarious. But okay. I'm with you. So then he's in Half Baked. Then the show comes out. Think of shows that you say on a date, things you say like when we're all together.
Sure.
Like, what the five fingers say to the face?
Yeah.
Slap.
Slap.
Things like that. Like, yo, fuck your couch. Like, fuck your couch is from Dave Chappelle. We also quote Seinfeld. So I mean, that's exactly what it is. Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna agree with is that Piccolo right there?
Yeah.
Dave Chappelle. They were censoring Dave Chappelle, and he walked away. Dave Chappelle also needed a break because that fucker was getting pulled left, right, and center. So they were putting him on shows, and he's like, "Why the fuck am I going here? We're going to pay you $50 million. You're going to go on whatever fucking show we tell you to go on."
So my question though is he a superstar for our generation that is lost on other generations?
Give me
The younger people,
Give me
they
an
don't
age gap.
appreciate them. They'll never
Give me a
know.
fucking age gap for generation.
Generation Z.
Oh, fuck, don't call it. Well, the Gen Xers know them. The Gen Xers know them. So, like, if we go,
sure,
so if
Gen
we go
X
between
and millennials,
77
sure,
and 86,
sure,
that's our guy. That is absolutely our fucking guy.
That's right, Timmy. That's right.
As the kids, a lot of kids won't watch the Chappelle show because I think it's on Crave. It's on Crave. The kids won't watch the Chappelle show because it's too old.
That's true.
They go, it's old. But it's the same thing with The Sopranos, one of the best shows ever created in my mind.
Okay.
You know, now in 15 years from now, are people going to watch Waking Bad or whatever? What's that called?
Walking Dead? Yeah.
No. The other one, Breaking Bad. Oh,
sure.
I got two shitty shows mixed up.
Conflated two shows. Okay, so let's stick to Dave Chappelle though. I recently asked someone, and they might actually be in the chat, who is of Generation Z, that what they thought of Dave Chappelle, and they're like, who? And then I realized, oh yeah, he disappeared forever. Now he's got all these Netflix specials, and he goes, yeah, I saw they were advertising this guy I'd never heard of on Netflix. I didn't realize why it was such a big deal.
He didn't disappear. He did not.
He did.
He did not. He disappeared to you who didn't want to see him.
No, that's not true. He was doing shows in the park.
Yes, I understand that. And if you're an active user of Twitter and YouTube and Instagram, he didn't really disappear. He took a break from fucking Hollywood, as I think most of these fuckers should do.
Anyway. Like, yeah, he didn't disappear. Like his family knew where he was, but I didn't.
No, but like, yeah, you didn't because you didn't care. You love Chappelle, but you don't love.
I didn't stalk him. I didn't go to.
You don't have to go to fucking
Oregon or wherever the fuck he lives, dude. Ohio.
He lives in Ohio on a farm, but like it's not a farm. It's apparently pretty cool. But that's what I'm saying is like he just told Hollywood to go fuck himself.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like, could you imagine, Adam? What like? Do you have balls big enough to have a $50 million check in front of you? You whip out your hammer and you piss all over it and you go, "I'm out, boys."
Yeah.
Do you have the balls for that?
It's the thing of legends. It really is. It's such an interesting story because he's this guy that just showed up, made the fucking funniest, the best thing ever. There's no, I don't care. Key and Peele, Saturday Night Live, they ain't got nothing. They ain't got nothing on Chappelle's show. He makes Chappelle's show and it blows everything out of the water. And then they go $50 million to be a mainstream star. And he goes, boom, I'm out.
I want to tell you something right now, and I'm just realizing it right now.
Sure.
Now in today's culture, Dave Chappelle would not exist.
Have you seen his new stand-up specials?
No. Do you want to know why he wouldn't? The Chappelle show would not? Why? Because two white guys, you and I, are debating how much of a legend he is. Sure. That's not allowed in today's society. Dude,
why is that?
When we used to watch the Chappelle show in your parents' basement when we were like 17, 18, like coming to our own.
It was a lot later than that.
Was it a lot later than that? Is it that much later than that?
It was like 23-ish.
So when we were visiting your parents in their basement, we'll call them roommates.
I don't know if we ever really watched it in my parents' basement. That doesn't matter. We'll go with that narrative. Go on.
This is what I'm saying. We were a bunch of white guys. There was like 10 of us. Yeah. Pre-COVID, we were all sitting beside each other. I was a lot skinnier back then. I was looking a lot better, but now I'm a little old and fat. But we watched that show and race didn't even come in our mind. We were just amazed at the comedy that we were receiving on a daily basis by watching MTV at 11 o'clock on a Friday. That's what we fell in love with was comedy. We didn't see colors. We didn't care. And then like your one boy here, Clayton Bigsby, like he's the what is it? The white supremacy KKK leader. That's
white supremacist.
And then he comes up and he's blind. Yeah. And they go, yeah, who's Clayton Bigsby? That's me. And he's like, black people. He makes fun of white racists, man. And everybody's like, yeah, woo, he's black. I love this.
And that's what it is.
We didn't see
the most ignorant racist in the world because he's so racist, but he doesn't realize he's black. He embodies everything that he hates about himself.
Exactly, and that's how stupid racism is.
Yeah, exactly.
If you take one thing away from this, racism is the dumbest fucking thing you can get behind. Yeah. It drives me crazy. dude, some of my, like, we'll talk comedians. My favorite fucking comedians are black. I don't give a shit. I don't care. I love Bernie Mac and I love Chappelle and I love Pryor and I love all these fucking guys. And that's the kind of guys I want to be like. I don't see them as fucking black guys. I don't. I see them as white. I see them as.
I heard you say that a lot,
dude. Because what pisses me off is that we're having a debate about Dave Chappelle and walking away because Hollywood didn't treat him right, and I stand behind Dave Chappelle.
Yeah,
comedy to me doesn't have color. To me, comedy. If you're fucking funny, you're fucking funny. I'm gonna laugh. Funny. If you're a dick, you're a fucking dick. That's all it is, man. I really love comedy. I think comedy can bring us all together. I think it can separate us too if you get the wrong fucking person watching it and flipping it around. I honestly think that. I think that we like comedy shouldn't have nothing should have color. We're missing out so much, man. Like Dave Chappelle, you hit it on the head. Is the comic of our generation. I could probably name 2 or 3 more behind him, but we're like, fuck them, leave those guys. We watch Chappelle. We don't care. We have great comedies. We have great comedians out there, but we love Chappelle. Why? Because Chappelle tells it the way it is.
So what about these specials? Have you seen these Netflix specials that he just bangs out one after another after another?
Dude, it's fucking hilarious. When he talks about that fucking French actor, UC Smollett or whatever the fuck his name is.
Smollett, yeah.
Fuck his name is.
I don't know
and like he even says like, then the black people got hit, and he goes like, okay, where was he? Subway. Sandwiches? Oh, he was on Subway and sandwiches. And the black
I like the way that he puts it is he was gay and black, and the gay people were mad with the black people for not supporting him. And what they didn't realize is that the black people were secretly supporting him because they all knew he was full of shit and they didn't say a word.
They don't care. Like, dude, why do you think like?
But okay, here's the thing: in a world consumed by cancel culture, that last special that he put out, holy,
you can't cancel. The reason why you can't cancel him is because he's black and from the left. That's why you can't cancel it. We need fuckers like Dave Chappelle. We need those motherfuckers in our lives. Open our fucking eyes. We need Dave Chappelle's. We need black Dave Chappelle's, white Dave Chappelle's, Asian Dave Chappelle's. We need every Dave Chappelle you can fucking find right now because it's driving me fucking crazy, man. I've lost my mind. Why? Oh, you're racist. I'm not racist. You're a dick. How fucking hard is that? I don't fucking support Trump. Why? Because he's an asshole. That's why. Why do I
support Trump, though? You do support Trump.
Some of his things because he's made his economy so good. Why did you love the Obamas?
He made the economy good? What do you mean he's made the economy good?
Why did I love the Obamas? Why? Because Michelle Obama had a fat ass and she was hot. That's why I love the Obamas, man. Fair. Obama was a white guy. He smoked darts and loved blackberries. What the fuck else do you want? Dude, that's Obama. Obama's amazing to me. The Obamas were amazing. The Clintons, I have no information and have no idea.
We have no information about the Clintons. We will not know anything about them.
I heard out of it. I have nothing. But I'm telling you right now, I don't know how I got fired up. We went from Joe Rogan to Dave Chappelle. We need more fucking
the conversation that way.
That's what we need. I'm fucking sick and tired of racism. And if everybody looked at the way that Dave Chappelle did and we all loved each other, this whole world's fucking different. It's it's disgusting right now. Disgusting out there. You just love everybody. Who gives a fuck what they look like? Who cares? Adam, if you're an asshole, I don't like you. If I'm an asshole, you don't like me. That's how it is.
But if I'm a nice guy, you still say I'm an asshole because that's what happened last week.
That's exactly what happened last week and the beginning of this week because you didn't understand fucking glory holes.
I understand glory holes. You're the one that doesn't understand glory holes. Listen.
Move right along. All I'm telling you is racism sucks. If we all had the same views and the same love for Dave, everybody loves Chappelle too. That's what's mind-boggling. Yeah. White guys, black guys, Asian guys, whoever the fuck you want to name, they all love Dave Chappelle. Well, why do you love Dave Chappelle so much? Because he tells you the way it is. He talks about his own oppressions. So you're like, I understand that because the minute you put a white person in some of the shit that he's gone through, you're like, oh, shit, it's so true. Because you see that in your own head. Like, that's what I'm saying, is that it is absolutely crazy. And not a chance, Timmy. We're not going that far. But, like, that's what I'm talking about is that we all seen everything through Dave Chappelle's eyes, and we use Dave Chappelle as what we can get behind. And he's a point. Him and Joe Rogan are actually really good points of bringing a community together. Sure. Like, if Joe Rogan has 30 million followers, I don't even know. How many followers does he have on YouTube?
I don't know, man.
He made $100 million off switching over to Spotify. That means he has a lot of followers. If we took those followers and Chappelle followers and
made them subscribe to this YouTube channel,
we'd be fucking retired. No, but if we took all those guys and we used that as a stepping stone and said, like, we support these guys and we'll stand behind these guys, the whole fucking world's different. And then what would really scare people is that both sides would get along, left, right, black, white, green, cops, no cops, all this bullshit. They would all get along. The politicians and like CNN, Fox News, MSNBC, they'd just shut the doors. They'd be like, "Well, everybody fucking likes each other. What are we gonna do now?"
This is a utopian future that you're describing
with Dave Chappelle and fucking Joe Rogan.
The problem with this utopian society that you're describing is people are going to play video games, and at some point they're going to bring up Mario.
You know what? Okay. This is what pisses me off about Mario. Now we're gonna get away from Chappelle.
Why do you hate Mario?
I don't hate Mario. I like Mario. Why the fuck's he still a plumber?
What do you mean? Why is he still a plumber?
Why is Mario still a plumber?
He's passionate about plumbing.
Dude, he's been doing it for 35 fucking years. Let's give
family.
Mario a real job. The thing that pisses me off is that for some reason, when you watch
plumbing not a real job.
I apologize to the plumbers. I apologize. You have a real job. My issue becomes, and I'm talking closer to the mic. We made Barbie. We've transformed Barbie. Hear me out. We've transformed Barbie from like a curvy woman, like who had the old stereotypes from the beginning. We've transformed her into a more realistic woman. We've given her different jobs.
Well, like Mario was always pretty plump and realistic.
Yeah, but then like it's a stereotype. So like I want you to watch the mob show that's on the Netflix right now. On the Netflix, like I'm some type of
the Netflix, yeah.
Oh, the Netflix.
Okay,
you know,
boomer.
You got.
Are you sure you know who Dave Chappelle is?
Don't. But like, why hasn't he changed? Like, so like they when you watch that mob show, they go, well, the Italians ran the construction. They ran everything you needed to do to build the building. That's what the Italians were for. Okay. Yeah. Okay, cool. But now we got Italian doctors. We got Italian this. Why aren't we changing Mario? Why is he still a fucking plumber? Why can't he be like Mario Andretti? Like, fuck Mario Kart, but he still looks the same. Like, why can't we have a different Mario?
Why does he need to change? Why can't we have the real Mario? The Mario that exists in the world that as he chooses to be. Plumbing has a good pension. It depends on which plumbing company you're with.
Hey, stop looking at shiny things and focus on me. Focus on me, please.
He's going to retire good. Hey, people want to comment. I want them involved in the conversation.
No, I understand, but like to me, why haven't we got a different fucking Mario?
Hey, whoa, okay. Why can't he stay a plumber?
Let's give him a different job once. Give me one game with him a different job.
Why does he need a different job?
Why not?
Get plumbers.
Well, why did Barbie have to fucking change?
Because that's what Barbie does. That's the whole marketing campaign of Barbie is.
This poor guy can't go back to fucking
version of Barbie.
Are you saying?
A different version of Barbie. That's the whole thing.
Listen here, you motherfucker. Are you saying that Italians can't go back to school and educate themselves? Is that what you're saying? So Mario can't go back to school. Mario can't go back to school and become something else. Not a chance. He can't be an electrician. No. He's got to be a plumber. That's what he does. We can't give him a new education. Why? Because Adam's racist. That's why. You're racist towards Italians. I cannot believe you're doing that. Our solid friends are Italians, and you're making fun of them. Why? Why? Because he's a plumber. No, go ahead. What are you going to do?
You know that plumbing is in his family, right? His brother's a plumber.
So he can't go out. Oh, so you're saying listen, kids, whatever your family does, you have to stick to. You don't think outside the box. Think of Adam's way. You can't do that. You can't just go, well, my dad's a plumber, my brother's a plumber, my sister's a plumber. Well, my sister just likes pipe. Like you can't. I'm not saying my sister. Never mind. But I just burnt myself. I think.
Yes.
Wow. No, but what I'm saying is, like, why can't we give him a different? Okay, sorry. Let me rephrase that. We have Dr. Mario.
Yeah,
we do.
There you go, Dr. Mario.
Dr. Mario
doctor for a while. Tried that on and said, you know what?
Dr. Mario was ahead of the game. All he did was throw pills at the fucking problem. And don't even get me started on that. So Dr. Mario lost his license. That's what we're gonna fucking say.
I don't think so. I think Dr. Mario.
Why can't we have Mario like?
He goes, yeah, I'm gonna try this on for size. And then he said, I'm gonna go back to plumbing because that's what I really love.
Yeah, because he didn't enjoy pushing pills on kids. I understand.
All right.
But here's the deal. Why can't Mario be like sitting in an office going, oh no, the teacher sent me an email. She's missing again. And he takes off his suit and becomes like this fucking guy who just destroys shit. Why not? Why can't we have that for Mario?
Why can't he just like plumbing? Why? What do you got against plumbing? I don't get it.
I'm just saying, give me some fucking variety, man. Adam, I want to fist fight you now.
That'd be the biggest mistake of your life.
Yeah, that's it. So I just didn't go on a fucking 20-minute rant on how much I love Dave Chappelle and how we should all be him. I think that'll be the death of me. Right. Okay, let's. You know what? I want to go right into politics right now. So I'm fucking still fired up. I want to go into Trump trying to postpone the election in November.
Cancel the election.
Wants to postpone it. Doesn't want to cancel it. Like that would be some fucking. That's some Trudeau shit if you want to cancel it.
Postpone it until COVID disappears, which they're saying could last another decade.
So, what? No, don't.
There are people saying that. I don't know if it's true.
Dude, you know how like somewhat cheap I am when it comes to certain things? I've had the same mask since the beginning of COVID, and it's this red and white thing, and it is so fucking beat up. Oh,
that's fine.
Dude, it is so it looks like an old pair of panties. Like it is beat up. It falls from the side of my face.
You're wearing an old pair of panties on your face.
I'm not going to comment on where I got those panties.
All right. So Trump wants to cancel the election. Postpone.
Okay. Listen, I don't have nothing against plumbers, bro. And I just followed you. I got into the trolls. I'm not feeding the trolls today. He won't leave the White House. He's going to be like, nope, I'm staying. Okay, now Blaster 9. I don't even want to know why he's got a micro blaster, but that's neither here nor there. That's a personal problem. He's probably big in Asia. So what happens here is that Trump is trying to postpone it because he does not believe that he's going to get a fair shake if they do mail-in elections.
That's why he's trying to postpone it.
Correct. So what they're saying is that when they only sent out stimulus checks in like waves and they were up and down in money. They're saying that they sent like $1 billion in stimulus checks to dead people. So their system is so broken that they don't have enough. They're not doing like a death. When somebody dies, like in Canada, we do like, you got to pay the death tax. And then when you pay their death tax, they're officially dead. So they just stop getting shit. Like they're like, okay, they're dead. Like, legit, they're dead.
Okay.
He's afraid that if he starts sending them out and they have a big fuck up, all the little like as lefties or whatever are just going to send in all these fake ones, and he's going to get his ass kicked.
I don't think that's going to happen. I know that there has been.
Who do you think is going to win the election in November?
Who do I think is going to win the election? I don't know. I think, to be honest, I think it's probably going to be Trump. I hate to say it.
So I'm going to agree with you 100%. Now, the reason why I'm going to say that Trump is going to win the next election, Biden's going to die.
I don't know about that,
dude. He's looking rough.
Listen, I'm saying whether Biden dies or not, which I don't think he's going to. I don't know. Maybe he will. I think that I think Trump stands a really good chance of winning. And a lot of people doubted that he'd win the first time, and they're making the same mistake again.
No, the first time, they didn't believe in the electoral college or the whatever you call that in the States. So like, Florida gets 10, and then this guy gets that. Trump will vote himself in by mail. It's true. He did. I'm sorry, buddy.
Oh, look at this one.
It's not the first time somebody said that to me today. But anyways.
So here's my take on it. Trump feels threatened. He feels like he's going to lose the election. So he's trying to suppress votes.
Here's the problem with Trump. And I'm going to say this, and people may look at this a little differently. Do you know the difference between an alpha male and a beta male? Do you remember this conversation we've had years ago? Alpha male's in your fucking no. And I'm going to explain to you on how it's going to work. Sure. Alpha male is like, I'm right in your face. I'm going to punch you in the mouth. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Beta male's like, yeah, man, I'm okay. Like, they're a little bit more relaxed. We played Risk. Me, you, Ty, and Pascal for like a couple of hours one night. Ty and I, the alpha males, and Ty's not even an alpha male. He's like Trump, but I'm explaining what I think of that. You guys want world peace. As soon as Ty and I destroyed ourselves.
World peace. I won that.
No, you and Pascal want world peace.
No, I didn't go world peace. I took over the fucking whole planet.
You fucking beta. Somebody want world peace.
You're remembering it. You're misremembering.
Yeah, dude, because I probably drank a 60 that night with McLeod as you two sober fucks laughed at us and poured us fucking battery.
I think I was the only sober one, but I won that.
Here's my point. Is that Trump thinks he's alpha. He's a beta male. He's a creepy little fucking prick. And his problem is that he's used his money. That's right. He's used his money to pretend he's alpha. Now that he won the fucking political race. I don't even know how he became president, man. I watched his inauguration thinking somebody was going to plug him. Mm-hmm. But then I realized that the people that voted for him own all the fucking guns.
Did you see him on stage during the inauguration? It was
I did.
I've never seen more disappointed people to be elected in my life. The theory, and it's a long-running theory, is that he didn't really want to be president. He was trying to, because he got fired from The Apprentice, and he was looking for a publicity stunt. This was a great way to make a publicity stunt, and then it got out of hand.
How he won? He's a fucking internet troll. That's like me winning becoming prime minister is a fucking write-in, because I know how to use this stupid thing. Like, I chirp you, and we've been chirping each other for like years before it was even called a chirp. Like, sure. The issue was that he just got on the internet and he started tweeting things, and then he got up, and then Hillary's like, "Oh, I'm so glad guys like you will never be in charge of America because you'd be in jail." And everybody's like, "Oh," and you're like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna vote for Trump." He didn't win the popular vote. And the reason why he didn't win the popular vote was because of the amount of people in goddamn New York State and California. Mm-hmm. That's why they have the electoral college, because those two would just choose who gets in, because there's so many fucking people in there.
It's the second time in our lifetime that the Democrats have lost an election and won the popular vote.
Bush Jr. Bush
Jr. and Al Gore.
Yep. But that's how he won. Now it's looking like they've got the polls right now. I'm going by Shapiro, who's on the far right, who was a Trump supporter, on the Rogan show. Was like,
by Shapiro. Shapiro's full of shit.
If that's the case, Trump's going to win in a fucking landslide.
Okay.
Because you haven't been watching him lately. He's not a fan of Trump. He's not.
Sure.
He even said, like, so the polls that they showed at the beginning, Trump was winning. It was winning in the states where he had to go. Like, he was winning that one. He was losing the popular vote. They already knew that. He's losing both now.
Okay.
So Trump's afraid. Trump's afraid. Trump's afraid of losing. Why? Because he'd be the first president since Bush Sr. not to do 2 terms. And he doesn't want to know that. He doesn't want to do that.
It's the first since Bush Sr.
Yeah.
Wow.
So Bush Sr. was in Iraq, and then he ended up losing it to Clinton.
Yeah.
Clinton did his too.
And
then Bush Jr. did too, and then about 2, and then there you go.
I didn't realize that. That is a good point.
So he's afraid of being that lame duck president that can't do a second term, and Bush was on the right as well. So they're pushing him like, you got to get you in there. Like, that's what they got to do. But like, Trump's just trying to grasp for straws right now. Like,
there's an interesting theory that one of the reasons that he ran was because Obama roasted him so badly and said, "You'll never be president like I am." Wouldn't it be interesting if Obama ended up being Biden's running mate?
Can't be,
just to piss him off.
He can't be, because he can only be a running president once in a century. So if Biden died, that would make Obama president.
I think he can still be.
No, because if he's the next guy in line.
I understand that, but I think he can be vice president.
No, because he will be the next in line. He cannot be vice
I understand
president.
that he would be the next in line. I understand that.
No, but he can't run again. He can run for Senate, I believe, but he can't run for Senate, but he can't run for anything else.
Okay. All right.
So they're saying,
I don't really know, so I'm not going to argue. But
but what they were saying was like, what would have won Hillary Clinton the election was Bill running with her, because Bill was the sitting president in the last century. So they're saying that Bill Clinton could have ran with Hillary, and it probably would have won.
Okay.
So I mean, it's up in the air, but like, if he's grasping at straws, there's no fucking way they could postpone that election in November. And
have you seen Fahrenheit 11/9?
I won't watch a Michael Moore special anymore, man.
You won't watch it. Why?
If I want to watch now, you know what? No, I'm not even going to rip the guy.
No. Why? I want to hear why.
His bias is way too far left.
That's fine. He openly admits he's a lefty. He's allowed to have a left perspective and express that point of view.
To a point.
Why to a point?
Listen, I'm right wing. Like fuck.
Ben Shapiro is right wing, and he expresses his right side opinion all the time. Why can't a lefty express their opinion?
Just fuck him. That's why. No, you can have your own opinions. I don't care. I'm just not going to suppress myself sitting down for 2.5 hours to watch something that I'm just going to shake my head about. But if you want to fill me in, if you want to give me the Cole's notes, and for people that don't know what Cole's notes are, it's like a short form of a book you used to buy at a bookstore.
That's true. That is fair. There are criticisms that I have for Michael Moore, such as his overdramatic sensationalism and whatever. But the fact that he's a lefty,
I like that word, sensationalism.
Well, it's true. He does do a lot of overdramatic sensationalism and whatever. But one thing that he said, so he kind of hits a lot of points that we did on his documentary, which is what reminded me of it. However, he ends it way before COVID was even a thing by saying that Trump's next step is that he's going to try to suggest that we shouldn't have the election. He goes, I promise you, he's going to find a way to weasel out of the next election.
Listen,
and
man.
He's 100% accurate.
Worldwide fucking. But what does it matter 1 month?
What do you mean, what does it matter 1 month? It's going to be more than 1 month. What do you mean, what does it matter 1 month? We don't know when the vaccine is coming.
You can't postpone that more than 1 month, dude. That's impossible.
So why not?
Listen, I'm going to tell you why it's not going to happen. It's in the fucking Constitution. And dude, fuck FDR.
What is in the Constitution?
You have to have it every fucking 8 years, and you can't run. You have to run it. You have to have it every 4 years on a specific date. It was passed. You can't change that. You can't. It doesn't matter what happens. Sure. You're going to have to risk everybody's life and tell them to go get COVID. But I think everybody in the States has COVID anyways. Fucking numbers are through the fucking roof.
Yeah, I know. The COVID is America is a COVID
all right.
dumpster
A friendly bet. I don't want to bet online. I'll bet you a steak dinner that goes in November.
I think it will go. I'm not saying it won't.
Oh, so you're saying it'll go?
Yeah.
I'll go the other way. I'll say that it won't go then. I'll change my mind just like that. So a steak dinner wherever you want in North Bay, or if you want to meet somewhere in Toronto, we'll go.
I'm not going to hold you to that because I'm going to win.
Oh, you're going to win. All right, then. I'm going to hold you to it because I'm going to win too. So we're okay.
Okay.
So worst case, we're getting a steak dinner out of it. I'm getting a steak dinner out of it.
So okay. I think we're winding down here.
We are.
You suggested a new segment for the show. Did you want to?
Oh, which one? So, guys, when I'm thinking of the sports one.
No. The other one.
The award for whether it be heroes or whatever have you, or idiots, just almost like a shout out to a celebrity that's in the news right now. Mm-hmm. Do you have one?
Well, what we decided was we were going to call it the number one offender of every week.
Correct.
Well, do you have one?
I did yesterday, but as you know how bad my fucking day has gone today, I am trying to figure out who mine was from yesterday. Because I had one yesterday, and I was really, really, really stoked on it. I do have a number one offender. I just got to figure out who it is. I just can't remember the guy's name.
Go ahead. I'm going to circle back a little bit. So we were talking about it. Sean Mark suggested we do like an idiot of the week, and I was a little bit like, I don't know about that because idiot is it's a little too solid. It's a little too quantifiable. I said, what about a number one offender of the week. That way it's on brand because we're no offense and it's the number one offender. And then I can have my own interpretation and he can have his own interpretation. We can see if we agree. So Jean-Marc, who's your number one offender this week?
Lou Williams.
Who is that? Lou Williams.
Who is yours?
Well, who's Lou Williams?
Well, who the fuck is yours? Is yours Lou Williams?
No, it's not.
Oh, okay, Adam.
Why? What?
This is a fucking good one. If anybody knows basketball, they know exactly why I picked Lou Williams. Lou Williams is an NBA basketball player. Fairly fucking good NBA basketball player. I believe he may have won Defensive Player of the Year last year or the Sixth Man. I can't remember which one it was. Unfortunately for Mr. Williams, he's in the bubble in Orlando. So I don't know if you know, the NBA is playing, but they're playing in Orlando, and they're in a bubble. They can't leave. They can't go unless there's a death in the family. Unfortunately, he had a death in the family. Oh. So he was given the okay to leave. He was given the okay, you know what, family, went for family matters. The cares of the world will save my life and give me something to do. Lou Williams was hit with a 10-day quarantine after social media posts show him at an Atlanta strip club called Magic City.
Jesus.
So he went away. He left for a his grandfather's funeral, and was photographed at Magic City, the strip club in Atlanta. Now, apparently, from what I hear, and I'm reading online, it is a good club. It is a gentleman's
Does that make it better?
club.
Does that make it okay though? It's a really good club.
So Adam, you have a wife? No, you don't have a wife. Your girlfriend? I got a wife. Sure. Now, my wife catches me at a strip club. I give the fucking first. I usually blame Luke. Yeah, Luke wanted me to do it. Like I've used that before.
Nobody knows who Luke is.
That's okay. I just blame everything on Luke. Do you want to know what his excuse was for going to the strip club?
Sure.
And this is a quote, unquote. I went to the strip club for chicken wings. Unquote. That is the fucking most dumbest thing you could fucking say to the NBA players that blow billions of dollars in the strip club a year. You fucking moron. Why'd you go to the strip club? Yo, that was my fucking grandfather's favorite place.
There you go. Now you're cooking.
He loved this broad on stage. I went for him. I go, yeah, all right, go ahead. Fuck it. You know? But no, I went for the fucking chicken wings.
Yeah.
What kind of strip club that got chicken wings? What kind of chicken wings are those?
The Moe's.
I'm not dying for that. I'm not dying for the Mo. Actually, I could go for a fucking pound from the wing.
Yeah,
maybe I'll call Mo and see if I can get it. Fucking...
It's closed.
It's torn down.
Yeah.
No, but like I could.
The Moe's, by the way, is a dirty strip club in our home.
Hey,
but they got really good wings.
It's a gentleman's club. It was a gentleman's club of proportions, of great proportions. Don't badmouth the Mo. The Mo is about as clean as your fucking beard. I'm not funny.
Nobody knows what the Mo's is. Moving on.
Who's your fucking guy? Harry Potter?
My number one offender of the week, since our last show was within a week, is you fucking asshole.
I fucking knew I was going to win the award this week.
It's got to be you. You were needling me all day. You said I'm not a nice guy. What the fuck?
You're not a nice guy.
How am I not a nice guy? When have I ever been anything but nice to you? Anything but nice to you.
You know what? Your mother.
My mother is a saint.
I'm not saying she's not, but literally, that is the great thing about our fucking show, Adam.
Sure.
Okay, one last thing I want to touch on before we fucking go. NASA, because I put it in the group. NASA launched a $2.7 billion. Thank you. Please use me as a thing. And that's it. Adam killed my pet turtle. Yep. And you know what, Travis, you attorney, you have never mind. We're done here. NASA has launched a $2.7 billion mission to Mars. Yep. Had some type of helicopter on it so they could go over Mars.
Sure.
At the same time they launched it, there was a 4.2 earthquake in California. And what happened to NASA? They lost contact with that big old beautiful $2.7 billion.
They lost contact with their spaceship. Are you telling me there's no Wi-Fi in outer space?
I'm not even going to dignify that with an answer. Internet, my friends, if you have $2.7 billion that you want to piss away, put that to the JM fund. Give that to the JM and Adam show, the No Offense show. Share it with your friends. Let us know. If you have $2.7 billion you just want to piss away, instead of giving that to the people of Africa for the rain, or just people in general, like fuck, give it back to the people. Let us know. Because we could spend $2.7 billion in a lot better of a fucking way. Now, how bad is the U.S. right now when NASA, government-funded program in the United States, launches a $2.7 billion fucking rocket, and the Earth's like, well, Trump, here's another one you can go fuck yourself with, and they just lose contact. Wi-Fi can't work in space. Correct, Travis.
What a brilliant comment.
Fucking guy's a genius. That's right. NASA does own space, but now they lost $2.7 billion in there, and that'd make one hell of a hash driveway. So if you have the $2.7 billion kicking around, folks, send it to me.
Yeah, or me. Send it to me. Don't send it
to both of us.
Send it to me. Now, I'll take good care of it. Yeah. You'll be going to strippers and saying, but they got good wings.
They do have chicken wings. I'll tell you that right now, my friend. Another thing, too, guys. As Adam does not like sports, I may do a Facebook Live once a week, just talk about sports. I may try one out this weekend. It'll just be myself. Just talking about hockey. I got some football stuff I want to talk about. Some gambling stuff like that. I've got some buddies that are helping me out with it. So I got some over and unders we can do. I got some long shots and close shots, and you get my take on what's happening in the MLB right now. We got MLB stuff going on. COVID throughout them. Blue Jays are losing games.
Now, let me ask you this: do you think you'll make a YouTube channel out of this?
I'm going to try and see if I can get a little traction on the Facebook page first before I make a YouTube channel, and then I think I will. I got that. We got some football we got to talk about. I want to talk about the youngest owner in sports owner in history of the world. I got a lot of stuff I want to talk about, basketball, things like that nature. And just talking to Adam about it, like he doesn't care. Like he's glazing over now. I don't give a fuck about that. Like,
I don't know if you can tell. I don't give a fuck.
If I was like Vince McMahon as a small,
I'm happy for you. I'm happy that you're doing something that you love. Out there, but
it's for us. And like Adam has no thing. The minute I say football, his eyes glaze over.
That's true. That is.
Doesn't give a fuck. So that's something I'm going to do. I might do one Saturday just before the NHL playoffs. So let me know what you think, guys. I think it was a good show today. I think
also, send us your questions. I've gotten a couple dating questions that I'm not sure if we're ready to.
Next week, next show, whatever we're going to do next show.
Okay.
We're going to do the dating questions because we haven't had those for a while.
Yeah.
We're going to touch base on professionalism of doctors.
We were supposed to do that today. Fuck.
No. We're going to do it next show because I've got a couple of things. Okay. Yes. Because I got to talk to you off air about it. And I'm going to talk about a bunch of shit. If you got something you want me to hear about, like you want to hear me yell about Dave Chappelle again or glory holes, or if you have something you're like, I wonder what these two idiots think of, let us know.
Yeah. Well, I'd encourage people to, because like I said, we've gotten a couple questions that people want us to answer, and I'm not sure if we want to make that a regular thing. So if you want us to do that, send us a couple questions. We'll do it.
That's
we'll
great.
Bump it.
Yeah, tell your friends, share and like the page. That's basically it for us this week, guys.
Comment, and subscribe.
Please do. Yes, and we'll get back to your comments and all that stuff next week. Thanks, guys.
So we're ending the show, I guess.
Oh yeah. Thanks, Adam.
See you next time.